This month of the How's All That Workin' For You podcast is sponsored by J. Brooks Coffee Roasters in Memphis, Tennessee. Urban Joe is the house favorite at J. Brooks for cold brew coffee. The legendary flavor of Urban Joe will ignite your taste buds with captivating shades of cocoa and cream. With a pleasantly balanced, bold body, the dark roast lover will fall head over heels for this roast. Cold brew is very quick and simple to make. It contains 2/3 less acids than hot brew coffee, so it's a perfect choice for anyone who has reflux or needs a stomach-friendly option for coffee. And if you make cold brew at home, you can make both cold and hot coffee with your solution. Everyone loves an adventure story. Make your day an epic adventure with a steaming cup or cold brew of Urban Joe. To order this signature blend for yourself and learn more about J. Brooks Coffee, click the link in the show notes or visit jbrookscoffeeroasters.com. That's the letter J, brookscoffeeroasters.com. You are officially invited to create some breathing room. This is the absolute best podcast to find the strategies, resources, and motivation you need to stop drowning in overwhelm, break free from hustle culture, and live out your God-given purpose. I'm your host, Rachel Baker, and girl, I've been there, done that. It is my God-given purpose to help you find space for an intentional life so you can confidently live in those strengths, skills, and passions that light you up and serve others. I know you are ready to create some breathing room, so let's do it together. Welcome to episode 18 of Create Some Breathing Room. Today, I want to talk about giving yourself grace through all the different seasons of life. And this can look different at all different times. You know, back in episode 17, just the previous episode, which if you haven't heard, we'll link it below. But in that episode, we talked about identifying your priorities. And this was in an effort to protect family time with all the tasks that are on your plate. So we went a little deeper into that. Go back and listen if you need to. You don't have to have heard it to benefit from this episode. So today I just want to talk about, now that we have learned how to identify these priorities, we want to know how to manage those priorities when real life creeps in. This is one of the most frequently asked things that I get. This is, well, what do you do when XYZ happens? There's always an XYZ, whatever that is. And it's different things in different seasons of life. So I want to talk about how we deal with this, regardless of your season, regardless of what's happening. How can we give ourselves a little bit of grace and move forward without all the wheels falling off the bus? I've got 3 main things I want you to take away from this episode. The first one is flexibility. It's that whole idea of monitor and adjust as you go. And let's just get real for a second. Some of us are better at this than others. This has not always been one of my strengths. I used to be very rigid. If I had a plan, if I had a schedule, if I had things that were supposed to be done, that was it. And if they didn't get done, the world ended, or I was the worst, or it was some epic thing. I have over the years gotten a little more flexible, a little less in the all or nothing mindset, and more able to kind of monitor how things are going. Is it going well? Do we need to adjust some things? So I just want you to hear and know that it is okay to move things around and adjust your timetables if it's interfering with the most important parts of life. If your to-do list is getting in the way of being present with your family, it's time to monitor that situation and adjust some things. Have a little flexibility. And I will tell you, one of the biggest pieces of this that I have to remind myself and my coaching clients when I'm working with them is a lot of the expectations we try to live up to are self-imposed. A lot of the things I'm trying to get done because it's got to get done. Who said? Who said it's got to get done by that time? Did somebody else demand it of you? Are you demanding it of yourself? Either way, there's no kindness in that. So let's ease up a little and allow for some of that flexibility in our lives, knowing that the world will not implode on itself and we can make it okay. Change is usually hard, but usually it's okay. So that's the first thing, flexibility, monitor and adjust. The next thing I want you to remember is that you've got to have grace for yourself. Be kind to yourself. I've already mentioned kindness. And I got to tell you, I am probably one of the least kind people to myself. I can be kind to others all day long. I love being kind to others. I want to please others. I want others to like me. But I am stuck with me all the time. I don't have to be kind to myself. But when I start to talk out loud in a way that I might be speaking to myself, if I were to say those things to you, we would not be friends. I have to catch myself in those thoughts. Take a moment and think through some of the things that you think and say to yourself. Something doesn't go as planned, the day gets thrown off track, your schedule's all wonky, and you didn't get everything done that you meant to do. And you get to the end of the day and it's like, I cannot believe, what have I even done all day? Where did the day go? I have not gotten all these things done. I am such an idiot thinking I could do. Is that kind? Am I being kind? No. But have I said these things to myself? Absolutely. But if you were to get to the end of your day and you didn't get everything done, if I came up to you and looked at your list and everything that was still on it and was like, what did you even do all day? Where did the day go? Why isn't your list done? You are such an idiot that you did not get all of, or that you thought you could do all of this in one day. Are we already not friends? I didn't mean it. I promise. I take it all back. But that's what we're doing to ourselves. So I've acknowledged it in myself. I've seen it in others. And just in case this applies to you, sis, I just want to say, be kind to yourself and allow some grace because you are human. Life happens and it's gonna be okay. I promise. So that's the second thing, grace for yourself, just like you would for anybody else in your life. Give that to yourself. Hey, it's Rachel, your go-to encourager and coach. I know you love our podcast talks, but imagine taking that connection to the next level in person. I'm more than a clarity coach. I'm someone who's been in the trenches, juggling all the things. I get it. I've danced with chaos, overloaded schedules, and the struggle to prioritize self-care. But I found the rhythm. And I've got the strategies to help your ladies create some breathing room. So if you're organizing an event, whether it's a conference, church gathering, or retreat, and you want a speaker who brings humor, real talk, and a dose of inspiration, I'm your girl. Let's chat about making your event a memorable one. Visit racheldbaker.com/speaking. That's racheldbaker.com/speaking. I can't wait to connect. And then the third thing I want you to know, this one's hard for me. I'm not great at it. I have to be kind of disciplined about it. But this idea of reviewing and reflecting. This is where we are able to identify our priorities in an ongoing way, because that is an ongoing process. It's not a one and done thing. We went through this process back in episode 17, but I'm really sorry. I need you to know that's not a one and done thing. It's a thing that you practice and you do on a continual basis. This, for me, is something that I do at least on a weekly basis. I have to sit down, look at how things went this past week, and look at what's on my plate for next week. What needs to adjust, right? I'm monitoring the situation and I need to adjust some things. But in that, I have to review it, reflect on it, and then identify priorities moving forward. That's why this is an ongoing process. Things shift as life goes on. It's not always constant, right? Just in my own life, as I'm recording this, in the past week, I had all these plans to get all these things done in my business. I had client work too. I had some coaching sessions, and I had these things on my plate to get done. And then one of my kids starts running fever. He's got a double ear infection and sinus infection. We're on antibiotics. We're coughing. Things are getting canceled all over the place. And I'm having to cancel meetings. It just throws everything off. Am I mad at my kid for getting sick? No, of course not. He is my child and I love him, and he's sick. He needs me to take care of him. Also, I have a lot of things that I was going to get done. So I have to stop and go, okay, have a little grace here. What can change? What can I adjust? Life has shifted. My priorities have shifted. I'm not now super focused on my business and my tasks. I'm focused on my kid and my family and what needs to happen over here. And that's okay. Nobody's going to be mad that I had to reschedule a meeting because my child is sick. At least nobody in our community, because you guys are rock stars, right? So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the amazing people we have here. And I know that when priorities have to shift, it's okay. You've got grace for me. I need to have grace for myself. We are flexible. See how these all tie together? Isn't this nice? It's all part of it. So in the different seasons of life, allow for that grace. Be flexible, review, reflect, and identify your priorities in that ongoing basis. And if you're looking for support in this area, I want to make sure you know the Breathing Room, which is our new mastermind community. The Breathing Room is a great place to connect with others for encouragement. In case you haven't heard, I want you to know the Breathing Room is this place where overwhelmed women who work from home can develop better habits of productivity and efficiency so that they can create some breathing room in their lives. And they can support and celebrate each other, pushing toward goals together, intentionally living lives to the fullest. That's the purpose of this group. And this mastermind, it runs for 3 months. And each round of the Breathing Room has a limit of 10 available slots. I keep these small on purpose so everybody in the group can foster closer relationships through that encouragement and accountability. So if you are looking for a place to plug in, put your application in, get in with a small community of women who get it, who know what you're going through, and will encourage you as you try to be more flexible and as you try to have more grace for yourself. And you can encourage others to be gracious with themselves, all reviewing, reflecting together, and making steps towards your goals while creating some breathing room in your life. Thanks so much for listening today. Be sure to check the show notes to get links for all the resources mentioned in this episode. As always, your reviews make such a difference, so thank you for taking the time to leave those for us. Your ratings and thoughts mean so much. I love reading each and every one. As we wrap up today, please remember, life can feel crazy and overwhelming sometimes, but you will never regret taking the time to create some breathing room.